you can join the other room. And then the last one is going to be mathematics. So I have the names. I mean, I didn't put the breakout rooms as room 1, room 2, room 3, or 4. So it's kind of descriptive enough. So I'm just trying to explain it out so that people can understand. Yeah, so that's it. So please, again, if you are in non-STEM, you don't have to join any breakout room. Just stay in the main room. All right. Thank you. All right, Dr. Adeniji, should I open the room now so that everyone can start joining?
Yes, but before then, I can see Precious. Okay, you can open the room, sir. Please do. So everybody can join.
So we want our panelists to also join the rooms as well. Yeah. Except if you are in non-STEM. Yeah. So if you're studying computer science, that's a very good question. Yeah. What room should you join? That's tricky. Please help me. Someone who is studying computer science, what room will be beneficial?
Mathematics. Let the person go to mathematics.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
If you're studying computer science, that's a very good question.
Yeah, that's mathematics.
So just join mathematics, and computer engineering, just join engineering. It's closed. What of food science? So join
food science.
Join the other group. That's the
food science. You join biological. Most times they are under the faculty of biology. Let them join.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for the purpose of this one, we want them to be part of those in bioanalytical. So they should be part of the second biological sciences group.
Geography, public health should go to also biological stuff.
So if you're in geography, come to
geography. Is there geology there?
Yeah, there's geology. The environmental science.
I think geography will benefit from there. Agric, I don't know. Agric can join the.
Agric should come to biological sciences. Come, yeah.
Biochemistry, biological sciences, yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, for the purpose of this one, we want them to be part of the, so they should be part of the second biological sciences. Sorry,
geography go to geology. Geology there.
Yeah, there's geology. So if you're global men, any public health, come to biological sciences. Yeah.
Fashion
designing, non-STEM.
Yeah, non-STEM. Arts.
Stay in non-STEM, yeah. I trust someone to do justice now.
I just want to be sure, because if I was putting your mouth to say non-STEM, I hope you're not insulting the
you
person.
help them now.
Please.
Petroleum geosciences, join geology. Non-STEM. If you are trying to join, I think Dr. Ajayi, you can help them. If people cannot really join, just help them, put them in the group they want.
All right, that works.
The toasting person should tell Dr. Ajayi the group. Just put the group you want here. Who is the toasting? I'm trying to join. I couldn't. Just put the group you want. You'll be added.
Toasting, which group are you trying to join, please?
Law, international relation, climate change, policy. Yeah,
okay, mathematics. Toasting, mathematics.
Yeah, mathematics.
So, yeah.
Please help me join a group. Fashion. Got it.
Isaiah, you're trying to join biological science, okay?
Environmental psychology. I think I saw a group on environmental. I think there's a group on environmental. I think
All right, so let me explain again. So the first one, which is the first biological sciences and environmental sciences, are for those in geography, public health, but general biological sciences, and if you're in geophysics, you can join those ones. Then the second one is for those who are in more of analytical, food science, and that's for the second biological sciences. Yeah.
Physiology.
Angela,
Where should physiology join? I think
Yeah,
biological
physiology
science.
can be in biological sciences.
Okay, somebody is asking. Good evening. Just go to physiology. Any question you have about CGPA, you can treat that in your group, please. Infinix or 6 is raising up his hand. What's the
Yeah,
problem?
sometimes you just join the room with a name. It's easy to track.
Yeah,
I
I
have
don't
some
know.
names,
I don't know why
4
people are
9
not
from,
using the
yeah.
name. All this techno is good for you to have on a phone. Don't be anonymous so that we will not know that maybe some people are tracking us.
Samson, international relations is non-STEM.
Yes.
Samson. Angela, law is non-STEM.
So
yeah.
if you're in non-STEM, just stay in the main room. Don't join any group, please. Samson Olunde, you cannot hear us. Check your microphone settings. Something might be wrong.
Okay, let me go and join the mathematics people and see what is going on. Where is mathematics now? Okay, join.
Mathematics, yeah, it's labeled.
Yeah, let me join them. I want to join mathematics now.
Accounting and finance, non-STEM. Dr. Adeleke, do you think supply chain management or project management should be non-STEM? Because project management, I feel, is non-STEM.
I agree.
Okay. Economics education, non-STEM. Anything that does not have science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, you are remaining in the main group. Yeah. And they are non-STEM. Jeremiah, which group do you want to join? Just type that. Let me move you to the group.
All right, so I'm going to leave you guys. Hopefully, you're going to be able to undo it. Yeah, I'm going to join my group.
Okay. Emmanuel, engineering, go to engineering's group. There is a breakout room titled engineering. Join that. Jeremiah, what do you mean STEM? Which of the STEMs? What's your mathematics? There is a breakout room for mathematics.
Hello.
Non-STEM remains here. You're not going. Please, let's all mute our mics, please. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Adeniji, I don't know, we need to start, so maybe you should please be handling those that need to move to breakout rooms, if that's possible.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. That's fine.
Okay, thanks. Dr. Adeleke, I'm still very shy that I have to be the one to talk when you're here. But can you hear me, Dr. Adeleke? Let me be sure. Oh, your network is bad. Okay, I think you're back. So I was saying that I was a bit worried that I have to be the one to kind of start. But before I start, I would like us to welcome Dr. Adeleke, and I would like him to introduce himself. And once he's done introducing himself, I will, and then we would proceed to what we need to talk about for non-STEM. Over to you, Dr. Adeleke. I don't know if his network, if he's frozen. Did you hear me? I don't know if you heard what I said. You're on mute. Let me try. Like you're on mute. Still on mute. You have to unmute yourself. I think his network is bad. Okay, so while we wait for him to talk to us. Okay, he's back. He's back. He's back. Doc, your network. Why is it disturbing us today? Okay, guys, so let me just start. My name is Soma Okibe. I'm an LLM candidate at the University of Victoria here in Canada. My research is focused on Indigenous law, Aboriginal rights, governance, and a flair of international human rights. I'm in my second year, so I'm in my writing year, and hopefully, by God's grace, I should be done very soon. You know me very well. I'm referred to as the Queen of Nonsense. Please, let's all mute our mics. Thank you. So if you know me very well, I am addressed as the Queen of Nonsense because I always try to go deep to get the necessary resources that we need to apply for non-STEM scholarships. Because as you all know, STEM takes all the money, right? So we have to look for ours. You don't need to look for that of STEM. Like STEM is just, if you just say mathematics now, there are tons of scholarships for them. But for us, it's very restricted. Yeah. So I would allow Dr. Adeleke to introduce himself before we go to what we have for you guys. Thank you.
Greetings, everybody. The Queen of Nonsense. Greetings to you too.
Greetings, sir.
I welcome everybody to this program, and I believe we're all here to learn. It is my expectation that we'll get the best of our time, and then all of the details will be sharing that value to every one of us. There's no need. I'm trying to introduce myself. I was introduced earlier by the host. And, the Queen of Nonsense will be our host for this session. So over to you, madam.
Which I am still not in support of, but yeah, that's okay. So here we're going to talk about how can you get these opportunities? What are the things that you need to do for you to get these opportunities? What steps do you need to take? Like if I ask you now, and if I decide to bring one of you now and say, what's the first thing that you need to do when you want to apply for grad school in non-STEM? I'm sure most of you say school and all of that, but I feel like the first step is for you to ask yourself questions, because if you don't ask yourself questions and if you don't answer them, that means 10,000 people will tell you 10,000 different things and you do those different things and you wouldn't make sense, right? So it's always good that you ask yourself questions like, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What do I really want to do? If you studied something like law, for instance, you might decide not to do law in your master's. That's on you. But that's because you asked your question, not because somebody else told you not to. Now, so you have to do like a self-reflection. Why are you studying law for your master's? Why? What do you want to do with it, right? Now, I'm going to be very honest. If you are country specific, then that's a problem. Because when you are country specific, you're not sure. That's you putting all your eggs in one basket, right? So this is me now trying to go deep, because I know some of you say, oh, my country is Canada. It's very understandable that your country is Canada, but that's not what our focus is on now. Our focus is on how you can get these resources, how you can change the whole narrative that STEM is the one that has the money. We non-STEM also have the money. We're all about planning, management. We're all about policy makers. We change everything, right? while STEM, they're all about solving human problems when it has to do with the body, the environment, and all of that. But how can we get these resources? Now, I've said, what's the first step? I said that the first step is for you to self-reflect. Dr. Adeleke, what do you think?
Of course, I agree with you. To corroborate what you've said, you need to ask yourself basic questions. And of course, this would entail a lot of self-reflection. And then, what are some of these questions? Well, like you mentioned, it's good for individuals not to be country specific. But again, you also need to ask yourself, what are the countries that I have in mind? And from there, you may now begin to look at the institutions, that probably offer your program. And so for me, I'm also aligning with your thoughts that you need to ask yourself basic questions. First, what course? What are my preferred courses? Am I drifting? Earlier today, someone wrote me and said, oh, I am in engineering, but I want to move to business analytics. And I told the person, oh, you must substantiate this. You must have a very good basics for this drastic career shift. You must justify this. And then what are your abilities? What are your prospects? What are the things you have in mind to pursue after school? And then you may now begin to streamline, of course, your terms to things that could include the country that offer your program, and then down to some of the schools that also offer your program.
Thank you very much. So now it all boils down to you asking yourself questions, because while you're asking yourself questions, you know whether you have even the skills for the course you're going for, right? Now, that takes us to the second step, which is research. You have to do the research. You have, like, when I say research, I'm not talking about in-depth research now. I'm now talking about generally how you even find schools that offer your course. I see some questions on Twitter when people say, please, ma, how do I, and I know, ma, I'm summer, right? And then I get questions like, how can I find scholarship opportunities for MBA? Now, that question you asked me is something you should type on Google. Fact.
Exactly.
That's the thing people don't know. That question you asked me, no matter how Google answers the silliest questions. So that question you asked me, go and put it on Google. It's different if you're coming to me and you're saying that you searched Google and you still don't, these are the schools you found, you checked their website, but you don't understand some certain things. Then I know you've done the work. Then I know you're intentional, because if you can't use Google, then that's a problem. I think 2 hours ago, I said, you have to learn how to use Google. And I say this without shading some countries. I will talk from Nigeria, right? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because when we were all in school, I don't know about now, but as at 10 years ago, most of us did not use Google. How many professors will come into the class and say, oh, do this assignment using the internet? No. So I understand comfortably if we're having issues using Google to do research, but we should use Google. Google is the best way to do it. That's the only way. Even if I tell you now that University of Michigan will give you 100% scholarship, you have to go and do the research to be sure. Because I might be saying this for my own department, but in your own department, it's different, right? So you need to be sure. You need to do your research. Now, how do you do this research? How do you ask important questions? We already know you've done your self-reflection. You've accepted that you want to do your master's in psychology, or you've accepted you want to do your master's in business administration, law, and all whatnot. Now, the next step is going to Google. When you're on Google, you're now being specific. Countries that offer masters in business administration or law. Please be taking notes. Why I'm saying this is because I want, after this session and you've done your research, I don't want to be hearing, please, I need link for this. I want you to tell me that, oh, you've been able to get at least 10 schools in your area of research, and that these are the findings. Do I have more information? That's when I can comment, right? But if you're telling me that you don't know how to get links, that's a problem. So now you have to type on Google schools. Now, let's say you want to be country specific so that you'll be able to have like a track record for each country. You can say universities in Canada that offer masters in business administration. Or you can say universities in Canada that offer fully funded, because that's the goal. We are here for the money, right? Fully funded masters in psychology, law, blah, 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 in Canada. They will give you at least 10. Now, remember, Google is very funny. That they gave you 10 does not mean that actually those schools give you funding, right? They are suggesting to you based on what they've pulled out from various sources. So what do? You have to now go and start looking for those courses in those schools they've listed. You have to do the work. You have to pay the price. And how do you pay the price? You pay the price by being hardworking. You can't just fold your hands and people are sending you links and they're not even, sometimes you even post a link and someone will tell you, how can I apply? How? You have to check the link. Let it be that you don't understand what happened there. Let it be that, one girl said something today that was nice. I posted a link and I think it was in German or something. And she was like, that she tried to open the link and it wasn't. And someone now replied and told her, there is a way you can actually change what is on Google. Let's say, for instance, it's in French. You can just change it to English and everything on that page changes. I didn't need to respond to that person because she has gotten a response, right? So why am I saying this? You have to click that link. Don't come out and be asking, how can I apply? Right? So now you need to go to, let's say University of British Columbia is offering a fully funded program in MBA. That's what Google told us, right? How do you now go to UBC's website for MBA to be sure? Because Google is not 100% accurate, right? It's suggesting a couple of stuff based on what different people have said. Now, how do you now find this? These are steps. These are like baby steps you need to take even before you start applying. And before I even start, if your intention is to go to grad school by, let's say, during the summer, which is, let me say, May, and you haven't applied or you are trying to rush your application, then that's the problem. You cannot rush your application. So you need to give it time. Especially if you're coming to Canada, just know that the window of application for most of them have closed. So if you want to come next year, September, you have to apply September this year, which means you have the time to start researching. You have the time to start contacting supervisors. I haven't even gotten to that stage. We are still talking about researching online with Google. Now they've told you UBC, that's University of British Columbia. How do you now search the website? Just go to Google again, open another page, right? And you now say, fully funded Masters of Business Administration, UBC. Believe me, if you try this now with your phone for your course, there is nothing that you would not see. It will take you straight to UBC's website for MBA. Now, they even have sections where they tell you the admission requirements. They will even tell you every single thing. They will even show you their faculty staff. If you need a professor, if you need a supervisor, that is how you get there. Why am I telling you all this? I'm saying all of this because it is important that you know that research is very, 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 that's like the key for you to start grad school. You need to be able to search. You need to be able to ask your questions well. Doc, before I go further, just please let me allow you to say a few things.
Okay. All of the things you said are on point. And, to corroborate what you said, somebody asked, a lot of the DMs we get, you see them telling you, I am interested in this course and I want schools that offer this program. And then I tell them, use Google. You see, we must reassure ourselves that grad school requires a lot of effort. And you see, it's practically the same thing. You want to, for the master's, for the PhD, and for the postdoc, it's almost the same thing. You must be ready to learn. You must be ready to put in the effort. And you must make up your mind to be dogged and to be very resilient. You must push. Okay, earlier today, while I was, trying to prepare for this program, I developed practical steps. I called them roadmaps for applying for admissions and scholarships in European schools. And of course, all of
Yeah,
the
I think
things,
I saw that.
yes, some of the things you said it is together. And of course, the first thing I said there was searching European universities that offer your program. That's the first thing. Google has a lot to offer. You know, a lot of things that they want us to do for them. They are not ready to go to Google. So if you're interested in studying, for example, economics, a lot of schools offer this program across different countries in the world. And so when you go to Google and type this, you see different countries and different institutions that offer this program. And then from then, what do? You now begin to review each of the institutions against your desired program.
Right. And also, to add to that, I know some of you be like, oh, I've not seen any scholarship in it's a lie. Like, it's that one, it's a very big lie. Someone said she never knew that there was, I found funding for music. Music has money. Like,
Even
there
art.
is funding. Even film. I'm telling you,
yeah.
Like, literally, like, you can't just come out because maybe you've not been, what people are posting online is not in relation to your field. Yes, this session is recorded, Mustafa. Yes. So this is something that we should know. There is funding for every field. See, there is a professor that has funding for that field. There is a school that spends money for that field. It's not a problem. So you just need to do the research. With these little tips that we're giving you on how to use Google, you don't have problem. Because that's the first step. If you can do research, then that's fine. If you can just use Google and check some things, that is number one. That's a plus. Shama, let me see if I can make you co-host before you join your other group. I don't think I can make you co-host though, Choma. Okay, so that's it, right? You need to know how to use Google. So that's after you've done your self-reflection and all of that. That's the next thing. Now you've checked UBC. Abi, please, I'm just using UBC for context. Like, you can use any school. That's why I'm just narrowing it down, like, so that you understand where I'm coming from and how you can use it, right? Now, after you've done that, you've gone through their website. But I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I posted on Twitter, checklist. What are the things that as a grad student you ought to have? Now, you would only know this if you have done the research on each school and each department. Some schools will tell you have to write IELTS, right? Now, if you're writing IELTS and you haven't written it, if you're supposed to write it and you haven't written it, that means something is missing. Some schools will tell you, oh, you have to write a research proposal. For masters in Canada, if you're doing a thesis-based program, you have to write a research proposal. I wrote a research proposal. So these are the things I wouldn't have known if I did not do this research. I would have just applied and I'll just get love letter, straight up. Love letter, for those of you that don't know, is rejection letter. That's what we call it, right? So if you don't do that, you're already getting that rejection. So you have to do the research and know, what does this school want? What are their requirements? What do I need to stand out? If they say you need to write IELTS, which I'm not in support of, but if they say you need to write that, what band do I need? These are the things you need to know. Oh, do I need to write a statement of purpose or a personal statement or letter of intent? I'm using or because these are almost the same thing, but different universities use different terms. Some can even tell you, oh, write a motivational letter. They are the same thing, but they're using different names. You need to know what your school wants. Your school will tell you, oh, there are some tools that will be specific. 3-page CV. And then you're writing 5 without context. You have to know what is required of you. You have to know what the school wants. Past that stage, let it be that, if they're saying, okay, Choma, do you have this one? Check. Do you have CV? Check. Like, keep ticking it until you're done. That's it. That's what you should be looking out for. So these are like the baby steps. We haven't even gotten to the main one. Like, these are like baby steps. If you're talking to somebody oh, Dr. Adeleke, please, I've been able to research. I found 10 schools. They say that they need this. I have my international passport. I have my CV ready. I have my SOP. The school doesn't want a research proposal, but one of the schools I'm applying to wants a research proposal. I've written a 2-page research proposal as required by the school. Please, can you help me and review it? See, when I've seen that you have made serious progress and you are coming to me, there is no way I will not want to help and review your documents. In fact, not when you have not done the work. You want me to do the work for you. It won't work. Because in grad school, nobody will help you. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Nobody will help you. See, like right now, one of the problems that we have for most of us that came from Nigeria, straight from BSc, is that we have issues when it comes to writing. That's the different story. When you get to grad school, you have to struggle as to how to write because each school has different writing style and pattern. So you have to learn. So that one is a different thing. But what we're talking about is the basics. How can you get into grad school? What are you supposed to ask yourself? What questions should you ask? How do you even get these opportunities? So I'm sure we've attended to baby steps. These are the little things you can do. Now, there's something we haven't talked about, and that is contacting a professor, which most universities, if you want to get into a fully funded program, you need a supervisor to say yes. And before I continue, that a supervisor says yes, it's 50-50. A supervisor can say yes now, and maybe when you get to the university competition, you did not do so well because it's a competition, right? So if you did not do well, that's a problem. The man will not say, please, I really want to fund this person. It doesn't work that way. So even if the person says yes, I'll use myself for example, so that it doesn't mean like I'm misleading people, right? I emailed a professor at the University of Saskatchewan here in Canada. He loved my research proposal. Come on, my research proposal was something very serious in Canada. So he loved it. He even followed me on LinkedIn. That's how serious this is. I was thinking, anybody I told you, yeah, you've gotten your University of Saskatchewan. They were giving me thumbs up. Guys, to the shock of my life, I got love letter from University of Saskatchewan. Did it hurt me? Yes, because I felt that for him to have done all of that and even told me go ahead and apply, I'm willing to supervise you and all of that, I thought I was going to get in, right? My current supervisor, I sent him an email. In 30 minutes, he responded, and he said, I love your work. And I know that even if I'm not available to supervise you, so many professors will want to supervise you. He said, and the reason I'm saying this is because I usually have more than 10 people in a term to supervise. Now, he's number one in Indigenous law in Canada. So I understood that. So the story now is that he is my supervisor. I got the yes from UVic, right? So you'll be wondering, what happened to University of Saskatchewan? That he said yes does not mean I will get admission. So you need to just know that when you're sending them emails, just have an open mind that, okay, you've gotten a yes first. Let's now wait for the final and the main yes, which is from the university. That is why your document has to be very, intentionally prepared. So that tomorrow if they ask you, would you have done anything different? You say no. Not when they ask you, be like, oh, my SOP was not really strong. We've still not gotten to that. So you have to contact a supervisor. How do you contact a supervisor? Doc, I'll allow you to take that one so that they get to hear from you firsthand how they can contact professors. Because, I don't want to say too much about you, but please tell them how they can contact a professor.
Okay. Okay, please, I would want to drift back a bit, to add to some of the points you discussed earlier. You see, I had a follower who tries to apply on virtually all applications, and then is always a love letter issue at the end of the day. And then I had to tell him, you are not eligible for all applications. You must monitor your progress. You must target your efforts. And so when you see schools that you think, oh, you're interested in, you must review something. And I told him, what is the level of competitiveness in the school? And how easy is it for people to get admitted? For example, in Canada, the admission, the percentage, you know, the admission rate, you know, talking about schools like McGill University and the Memorial University, it's above 64%. Okay, and then if you review their requirements and then you discover that you have the required documents, you may try. And of course, you've talked about the required documents. You need to get the documents. A lot of our persons, you know, register, and of course, the applications are incomplete. Nobody would attend to your file. Okay, and so that's it about that. Okay, and then for
Sorry, Doc. I just remembered something as you were talking.
Yeah.
I also had someone who I'm not sure. I think I reviewed his documents. In short, I did. So I knew he had a good profile. He was applying for the Erasmus scholarship. And this guy came back and told me they gave him rejection. I said it's not possible. Why? And he said he did not submit his original transcript. And that was what they told him, that the reason they did not bother reviewing it is because he did not submit an original transcript. How can you know? They told you, submit original transcript. You want to now use strong head to go and submit student copy.
Oh.
These are the things. You have to be very intentional.
Yeah.
Because there is no, because I know what I told him, now see, like you've lost out of that opportunity. There is nothing you would tell them, oh, these are the things. If you know that your university takes you 5 months to get your transcripts, make sure that you are taking that your 5 months to get it, and you're using the remaining that 5 months to work on yourself, work on your documents, so that by the time it's there and you're applying, you don't have an excuse. So that's why, because when you said that, I had to remember, it's just a recent, it happened this week, and I was so pissed. How can you submit a student copy a transcript when the Erasmus said plainly, we want original? And he's in non-STEM.
Wow.
Non-STEM, like it's painful.
Yeah.
Just because of transcripts. Not even because that they reviewed your document and you didn't meet up. No, they said they couldn't proceed because he didn't submit his original transcript. So please be very mindful. That's why we said you have to do the research. What do they want? What are the documents? Which one can you get now? Which one is remaining? I posted an opportunity tracker. It's like a Google Doc. If you go on Twitter and just go to the search button and type opportunity tracker at Summer or Kibe, all the things I wrote on opportunity tracker, the document is there. Download it and copy and paste it in your Word document. Why should you do that? That will help you to track your documents, help you to track your requirements. Which one do you have? Which one have you gotten? Which one do you need to get? It's very important. You cannot do without it. Like, it is important. Don't be guessing, oh, I think they say we should get IELTS. I think this one said we should get. No, you need a document that will help you track that. Doc, you can go ahead.
Let me make you laugh. Someone wrote me sometimes ago and said, I don't have an international, I'm interested in scholarship. I don't have international passport. I don't have my SOP written yet. I don't have this, I don't have. So, okay, what do you have? I said, do you have the transcript? He said, no. I said, so what do you have? I said, you know, so that is it. A lot of us are not ready, like you said. And
yes.
You must get required documents. We call them required.
Exactly.
They're required. You must.
They're required.
Yeah.
It's necessary. There's a reason for that. Now, Faith said original when some schools take months to send it, or is it? Now, Faith, like I said, it all boils down to what the university wants, or the organization that is funding you. If you're applying to Erasmus and they tell you that they need you to upload your original transcript, you have to do that. Or else, don't bother applying. That's the gist of this conversation. And I'm glad you asked the question. So, Doc, continue, please.
Okay. The task of securing a supervisor it's not easy. And like I said, the process is virtually the same for masters, for PhD, and for postdoc. You know, I mentioned recently, you know, I secured a postdoc, postdoctoral position. My sister, it did not come easy.
I know.
And like we said earlier, these fundings and these opportunities and platforms are available. You have to locate them. I sent mails. I sent. And you see, over and over, I kept reviewing what I sent. And in fact, the same school where I got the supervisor, you know, because of course, the steps that we mentioned are the same. You go online, you check out for schools that offer your programs, okay? And then you try to contact the professors, you outline the professors, in each of the institutions, and then you review their areas of expertise. You review their research area and make sure they are in line with your interest. In some cases, if they are not in line, well, you look for a way. Somehow, you try to see how you can align them together so that there's a relationship. But most times, when you get across to them, they tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't work with you. Our research area does not align," and all of that. And then there were 4 professors in that school. I wrote the first person, said, "Oh, sorry, I'm not. This is not your field." The other person said, "Oh, I'm retiring very soon." I wrote the chair, the postgraduate chair in the faculty, and said, "Oh, I'm already overwhelmed. I have students who I cannot work with." And then the last person. And as soon as I wrote him, just like you said, setting your own instance, immediately the guy said, "Oh, I love your work." And he said, "Okay, what do you want to work on? What are your areas?" And then that's how we started the conversation. And then that's how we continue. So when you see somebody that wants to work with you, and it's in the midst of that, because God has a way of compensating. In fact, I sent over 100 mails.
Ha.
And then getting that, luckily for me, I got somebody again from South Africa saying, "Oh, I want to work with you." And there's been a follow-up mail. We've had over 20 correspondents. She's been saying, "Okay, what's your area? Okay, what about this in this particular research? Oh, can you modify? Do you have some level of experience in this? Are you experienced in this area?" And we kept updating. And she now said, "Oh, she's ready." But of course, we'll not go for that one now. We have to go for the better one. So the work is there. You have to do the work, and you have to locate them. The opportunities are there. The professors are there. But it won't come easy. You have to work. You have to send emails. You have to review what you spend daily. Review. Make sure you have to check the content. Starting from the introduction down to the body, the conclusion. You have to check your tenses. You have to check your content. Okay? And you must brag about yourself. Okay, all of the research you've done, I have to. You must flaunt your research. Okay, and you must review their work also. In some cases, you may have to critique. You may have to say, "Oh, I'm interested in this work." You may have to say, "Oh, Prof, I'm interested in this particular work you did, and I would like to expand research in this area." And all of that. So it will come, but you have to locate them.
True. Thank you very much, Doc. Before I answer Udochi's question, Galaxy, I can't answer you because I don't know who is Galaxy. Like Galaxy is that's not a name, right? So you have to change that name for me to answer you, because what you said, D said, I don't know, D said person is having audio issues. Please, can everybody hear me? Just use the reaction button and just give me a thumbs up so I know that you people can hear us, because thank you. Okay, please, that means you have to go off and come back, D. Okay, if you're having network issues, go off and come back. Okay, thank you. So now Doc has explained how he was able to get a supervisor. He wrote 100 though. I just thought I said they wrote 500. Guys, I wrote only 2.
You're lucky.
I cannot keep myself. Hey God. I wrote only 2, and I'm grateful to God that 1 clicked. I also applied to McGill. I think part of the requirement, you don't need to contact a supervisor. And I knew for a fact that I won't get it. When you apply, this one, I better just apply. I knew because they don't really talk about indigenous issues, right? So their own is different. Quebec has a different kind of thing, so it's different. I couldn't I knew let me just try my luck. Let's not be that I just applied to only 2 schools.
But the admission rate in the school is very high.
So but because it's indigenous, I wouldn't. Okay. If it was human rights, international human, I would get in. I know. But if it was indigenous law, I'm wasting your time, because Quebec has a different. So if I want to get in, I have to write something in relation to the Quebec Act and all of that. I didn't do that. I was very serious of indigenous law. Right. Now, so Doc has explained you have to research of them and all of that. But how do you actually find these professors? How do you find them? I was going to make a post, but I'll just give you people a few tips, right? Now, you people are using your phone. You people are on Twitter. You people are on LinkedIn. This is the first place. If you want to find them, that's the first place. Go on your search section. As I'm talking to you now, let's say your field is in film. or your film is in psychology, though you see Dr. Adeleke because that's his field. But I'm just giving you an instance. Go to your search buttons on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and write professor of psychology or professor in psychology or just type professor and type your course, and you will see, if not more than 30. What is 30? 30 is small. First I should use law technology as example. Okay, please, go to Google, go to Twitter and LinkedIn and write professor law or tech law, right? Believe me, in the entire country, like in the world, you will see professors. It's now left for you to go and start speaking. Okay, I think I want Canada. Let me go and write down the names of professors in different schools in Canada. They will come out. Now, this one I'm giving is like the first one, since we all love social media, right? Now, once you've gotten their names, what do you do next? The next thing you do is to go to Google. Carry that their name. Dr. Adeleke and his first and last name, right? Put it on Google and put the name, the course, and put
Sorry,
the
Chema.
name.
Please, can you check your phone? Sorry, your Twitter DM, please.
Is this Summer or Choma? Because I don't think it's Summer.
No, I mean you. just check your DM and respond.
You can give them, Doc. Yes, I think you can if you want. It doesn't. I don't know if it's possible, but it will take time. We can try and be moving them. Don't worry.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Because they are only just watching on YouTube, but then the STEM guys need to come into.
Yeah, but the STEM guys can watch. It can't. It's not gonna show live, so they're
Yes,
recording it.
Okay, I was thinking that they can come in, so that they will go to their room.
They can if they want to. Yes, please. You can.
Okay,
You can
no
just,
problem.
Yes. Okay.
I'll put it on tweet now.
Okay, sure. So as I was saying, now when you carry their name, their first and last name, sorry for the interruption, guys. The first and the last name, you go on Google and you put it. When you put it on Google, you put the name of the school, the person's course. So if my name is Soma Okibe, Law, UBC or UVic, what Google will bring up for you is the school's website where this person's profile is. Shikina, just go there and go and start reading about this your professor. Oh, BA in University of California. Oh, LLM in this one. You will see under there. You even see the person's publications. You will, like, it is not even a problem. When you are now at that stage, that is when you now be like, this professor, I like this person's article on let me say cryptocurrency. You know, cryptocurrency now, it's more like it's tricky, but now this person has written something on how the law of this country can, can guide cryptocurrency in Canada, for instance. And your home country, Nigeria, is even telling people that people cannot do cryptocurrency. Now, you'll be like, okay, you want to understand how this professor was able to come to this and how he can help you to solve the issues in your own home country. That makes sense. Now, you now say, okay, let me go and read this article. Because you cannot just email a professor and say, I want you to supervise me. Shini, how will I spend money on you when I don't know your abilities? You have to read about this professor. Now, you've gotten his article. Let's say you could not download it on the school's website, but you got the name, right? You got the name of the article, you the supervisor's name. Google Scholar. Go on Google and type Google Scholar. It will bring out its own space. Put in the name of that your supervisor and the name. See, I hope people are writing. I don't want to be hearing, oh, please, how do I find supervisor? Because we have given you people see all the tips that we can give you. I'm giving it to you now. Now, you go on Google Scholar and write your supervisor's name and that article. And his article will come out. Download it and read. When I mean read to understand and to critique if need be. Because there are some articles that you cannot critique, but you can commend. But when you are commending the person, say, oh, I even like how you ended. I was thinking that you were going to conclude with this. However, I liked your conclusion because I did not quite understand. Now he knows that you actually read his work. Not just I read your article, Aboriginal rights and governance. Are you kidding me? Everybody can say that. What did you understand about my article? So this is you now. You're getting the professor's attention. Because we non-STEM, you need to go extra mile. It's not like STEM. I'm being serious. Non-STEM, you need to go extra mile if you want to get anybody to supervise you. So you need to do that research. You need to read about them. You need to be very consistent. Now, how do you do this? There are so many ways. You have read his article, Abi. You're wondering, how will I get his email address? Go back to his website, school's website. They always have their contact info there. Contact the supervisor. What do you put as the heading of your email? Like the subject when you're emailing somebody? Do you just, I've seen so many people when they're sending emails, you people don't put subjects. Like there are some professors that flag it. Like, first of all, if it doesn't have the subject, it goes straight to the spam. You have to be very intentional. You have to be very strategic. You don't just waste time. Because, see, opportunity comes but once. And first impression matters. Why am I saying this? If the first time you email the professor, you did not have subject, you did not even say, dear professor, this, or you just called his name and you are writing anyhow, it tells a lot about you. It shows that you're disorganized, you're not calculated, you're not intentional, and you don't want that. Even if you come back the next year to try and be like a good person, the person has flagged your email. So you want to make use of that first impression. Don't see it like this is your, who wants to be a millionaire that they used to do? Oh, lifeline. That's your last lifeline. Don't see that. Give it to your best. Now, this is still on contacting a professor. While you're now in that email, that's where you tell him, and don't go talking plenty. There are stages. Like when I mean stages, like what should be in what should be in your introduction, what should be in the body. Then we know that you are telling him that you want him to supervise you. So go straight and tell him. If he's not available to supervise you, there's no funding, they will tell you. Now, to answer Udochi's question, Udochi was asking, if I'm correct, what happens when a supervisor does not reply? Do you go ahead and submit your application? To be very honest, I will not. Personally, I will not. I will only apply if I know that my area of research is hot cake in that school. And that I meet the requirement. Like if you bring out my proposal and everything, I'll beat it hands down. I will share something. Well, briefly, when I wanted to apply to one school, my supervisor told me, "Oh, email this professor. He's usually very busy, but just email him." I emailed the supervisor. He did not reply. I sent a reminder. He did not reply. I went and emailed another person in that same field. The person said, "I love your proposal." But the person's worry was that he is an assistant professor. He's still a new professor. And he only, I think he has taken like 2 master students. So he didn't want to add any other person to his group of students, right? Now that makes a lot. Why would I go and spend my application fee and pay for that school? No, I wouldn't do that because you don't know if you get in, irrespective of your profile. So I would advise that you shouldn't. Don't just because they did not respond. Only apply if your mind did like you're sure that if what's coming towards you get supervisor, somebody else. I also know someone who told me a story that she applied when she was applying for her PhD. She emailed the professor at UBC. The professor did not respond, and she got in. But her case is different because she was a master's student at UBC, right? So it's the same thing of you get. So it's not. It doesn't. I can't use her own story because it's her. Do you understand? But I'm just telling you that you shouldn't, right? If you want to, please do. But personally, I wouldn't, because except you're not paying application fee. Apply as much as you can, so long as they're not taking your money. Apply. But if it's when they're taking your money, you have to be strategic because it's not easy when you convert it to naira or your currency, right? So be very strategic. There are tons of schools that don't ask for application fees. So once you email them, for non-STEM, I always advise that you attach your proposal. They don't have time to tell you, "Oh, attach your proposal, let me see." They don't have that time. That's why I said your first email is your last lifeline. Like take it as, if I don't get this one, that's the end, right? attach your research proposal. Now, these are for people that the school requires you to write a research proposal. If the school does not require that, attach your CV. Exactly. Because they want to even know this person, is this person a strong candidate? Is this person someone I'm willing to work with? If they see on your CV that you've never done any leadership, you don't have any leadership position, that's a problem. Why is it a problem? Because they'll be doubting if you can work with people. You know, when we say do community involvement, it's not for fun. It's because of your passion to lead and to work with people. They like it. So if they look and they don't see any single, they'll be like, can this person work with me? Can this person work with other people? Can this person work with a group of? So you need to be sure that your CV is well organized and you're not lying, you know. So that's how to contact a supervisor. That's like, I'm giving people like the best information. That's how to contact a supervisor. So, Doc, I want you to like talk to us about what are the like few tips on what should students focus on in their SOPs or their CVs. We can start with CV, which is like the easiest thing for everybody here. Then we can proceed to SOP.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please, I want you to announce for the STEM students, guys that are here, maybe they should, so that they can, move to the other rooms.
Yeah, please just indicate your room and for me, I don't know why your hands are up, but if it's for you to port to a room, please. I put the STEM. Let me be sure.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in STEM too.
If you're in STEM,
Okay, just
So move.
please go to your room. You will find your place there, either in biology or in engineering or in mathematics. Is that fine?
How do I locate the room, please?
please
Okay,
just type
if
it in
you're-
the chat box.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
type.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, disrupting our non-STEM people. Thank you.
Nonsense, madam.
Dr. Adeleke, please continue.
Okay, so your CV, it's in a very simple, in one word, it is a complete summary of who you are, what you have done as a researcher, and then you must make effort to make it very good. You must represent yourself very well, and that's why I tell people that you must update your CV regularly. And so for me, it's something you must work on regularly. And of course, we have said that over and over again. There are some details you should not include in your CV. You don't need to tell us if you're married or not. You don't need to tell us the government.
Don't tell us how many children you have.
You don't need it.
Even the address. Now, this is very, like, I realize that if you're applying, well, I don't know, maybe it's country specific, but you don't need to put your full address. Number 1, Ojueleba Street, 2,
No.
Lagos. No, just say Lagos State, Nigeria. The reason is this, because in the application itself, you'll be asked for your address. Why are you putting it on your CV? These are personal information. The application online is already protecting your data. That's privacy. But putting it on your CV, no. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very correct. And again, you may need to add something like, if you have, for me, for example, my CV has the link. My LinkedIn link is on my CV. Okay, and again, I want to add that it's advisable you review the CV style and the CV format of the country you are trying to, the country you are trying, or the country you're trying to apply to, depending on, for example, the CV format in Canada is quite different from Switzerland or China, for example, is different. Okay, so it's good you align your format, to meet the requirement of this person. It shows that, oh, this person took extra effort to adapt our style over here. Okay, and of course, like I've said, you don't need to give us all the other details, but your name, if you have a good social media handle like your LinkedIn address, you can fix that. Okay, your email, and then of course your CV should have your summary statement. Okay, that summarizes the highlight of your candidacy as a researcher. And also, you should tell us about your education. Okay, your educational background, including undergraduate and graduate, as well as the institutions you've also attended. Going further, the employment history is also very important. Like you mentioned, Suma, these persons want to know your capacity. They want to know your level of interaction. They want to know the skills, the soft skills that you have also acquired. So they need to know. So if you need to give us your employment history, if there are any. And of course, if you've had training outside your school, include it. If you've had trainings, grants, whatever, add it. If you had honors, if you had awards while you were in school, these things are very key. It shows your level of engagement. It shows how involved you were in school, and it shows that you have the capacity, as a graduate student. And of course, if you have attended conferences also, you should state it. You're a researcher. You're coming there to do research. Okay, we've said over and over that these things are very important. So if you attended conferences, 1 or 2, include them. If you've offered services, voluntary or involuntary services, either at the church level or at the association level, include them. If you have licenses and certifications, please don't forget.
Please, I'm not seeing this term.
Please
Isaac,
identify your field in the chat box, then I will locate you to the STEM room you have to be.
thank you, Doc. Okay, sorry, Dr. Adeleke, please continue.
So like I said, if you've attended conferences, if they invited you and if you've been a guest speaker at an event or 2, highlight them in your CV. Okay, and we have said if you were involved in humanitarian services, please include them. They will help you. If you have licenses and you've acquired some forms of certification too, even if you have attained some level of accreditation in your courses or whatever, please include them. If you have publications, it's advisable that you have at least, you should have, well, let's say minimum 1. You should have less than 2, actually, depending, but well, we try to advise. So if you have publications, some grad students have written books. Some are. So if you
I
have
know, because my own will be different. So that's the same. That's the same.
If you have publications, include them. If you have books, include them. If you have professional affiliations, all of our courses have professional affiliations. I expect that for us, we should reflect our affiliations to these institutions. Okay, a lot of us, we have them. Okay, for example, I'm pursuing a professional affiliation with the psychological bodies in Canada.
Did you write it down? If you're in psychology, Doc, what did you say again? So that they would write it down. That's how people start, though. So that if you're applying to a school in Canada, no, you have been a member since 2022. Okay,
exactly,
we consider this person. Be intentional and strategic. Doc, please tell them the name of that your body again.
Is ON. Oh, I can't remember. I'll figure it out.
Please, when I start talking, just help us and put it in the chat box so that they would also go and find out how they can be a member of that body.
Okay. And then professional associations, and then skills. Okay, I have it here. It's called CPO.
So if you're in psychology, CPO, that's the body in Canada.
Yes, the regulatory body is a college. The association, College of Psychologists of Ontario. You cannot practice if you're not a professional member. And of course, a lot of processes are involved. You need to write some exams. You need to do some trainings. They need the assessment from West and all of that. And then skills and interests. And then lastly, your references. Your references are also very, very important.
Please.
Thank you.
On the YouTube, remember we are hearing you. People are asking questions there.
Is there a way you can move it to us?
I'll try.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
So skills and interests and your references. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Doc. So let me now come and say I have issues with CV because if your CV is scanty, if your CV is empty, as in there's only 2 pages, empty is 2 pages, 1 to 2 pages, you can add your summary. But if your CV is 3, 4, why are you doing? Like, you personally, I feel like they will go through it. They know what they're looking for. Like, they are going to go and look at your education, your research experience, your teaching experience. They are going straight to go and check whether this person has the things they're looking for. Because I realized that the personal summary, that is your profile summary, people just say, oh, I have they'll tell you, oh, I'm a very hardworking person. What is all that? If you want to do that, that means you should keep it to three lines. That it should not. I want you to tell me, oh, a 5 years commercial lawyer or international commercial lawyer, blah blah. That's you already hitting the nail. You're already telling them with numbers. I love numbers because numbers don't forget numbers. You can easily forget what somebody said, but you see numbers. Oh, I taught 500 high school graduates English and this and that. They already have a number 500. Oh wow, 500. But if you say I taught high school graduates, how many did you teach, right? But that's different. We're not going into context. So I feel like when I was applying, I did not put my summary because I felt like summary are usually for jobs, right? Although like graduate school is like a job, but in the academic sense, I don't really see the reason why you should do that. After that, when under your education, don't just come out and tell me that you did your undergrad in psychology, the University of Nigeria. No, that's not don't just state that, right? If you want to sell yourself, because I believe in the one principle, the one document principle, which means if they look at your CV, look at your SOP, they should be able to see the connection. They should be able to tell and see through you, right? So when you're writing that, that you're in your SOP, you're telling us that you're the top 1% of your class. How come we do not see it in your CV? How come we don't know whether you had a first class or a 2-1? Do you understand? Now, under your education, after you've written your grade and all of that, you should write your thesis there, your thesis title. Write it. Let them know that you have done research before they even start going down. That is the trick. Put it at the beat. That's your education. Put your thesis and put your supervisor. Let them know that it was a supervised work. It's not a random work. If you're here and you did HND, I'm sure you guys did like projects, all this, like, write it there. Let them know that you have conducted a project. Write the name of your supervisor. It's very important. And at this stage, if you're applying for master's, PhD, remove your secondary school. As in, throw it. They don't need it. Like, it's not like you're applying for undergrad abroad. If you're applying for undergrad, okay, that's fine. Because that's the transcript they'll ask you for. But if you are applying for master's and PhD, why are you putting secondary school? So you have to remove it. Now, I always tell people to put their research interest so that any school that you're applying to, if you don't have if your area of research does not align with theirs, there is no point for them to go further. That's one thing people don't know. And that's why if you do your research, you will see that you need to actually know the schools that are interested in your research. So you put your research interest. Tell them if you're interested in technology law, if you're interested in clinical psychology. I'm sure, is there any clinical psychology? Hey, Doctor, I don't know, I'm asking, is there any clinical psychology?
Yes, there is. Yes, it's a name of psychology.
Okay,
you have a lot of them you have a lot of them in the US.
So you see, and there's funding. There was this one I even saw. I think a girl saying that she said she got like 280,000 USD for 4 years. I was shouting, psychology, non-STEM, and somebody tell me there's no money in non-STEM. So as I was saying, guys, you need to have your research interest. Tell us what are your research interests. That's like 3 or 4, right? When you're done, the next thing you should tell us is, I like when you're applying for grad school, right? If you're applying for course-based masters, please don't stress yourself talking about research interest, all those things. Don't stress. Don't do that. But if you are applying for a research program, that thesis-based masters or a PhD, use this method. Now, when you just come, the next thing you do is to talk about your research experience. Now, most of us say we don't have research experience. You are an undergraduate researcher. You carried out a research. That is a research experience. Don't come out and what most of you do is under that research experience, because I started saying put your research experience, your undergraduate research as a research experience. They thought I meant under the research experience, they'll just write their thesis title and supervise and go to the next one. No, that's not what I said. What you need to do is tell us the articles you reviewed. What articles did you review? What data did you collect? What were the findings of your research? That's what they want to know, because you can't expect them to go and start looking for your thesis to read. So you have to state it. And how do you write the heading? I'll give you a trick. If you are an undergrad, is an undergraduate researcher, UNN, right? Then you now come out and tell us what were the findings of your research and all of that. Now, I'm not going to spend time on this research. The next one is your teaching experience. Most of us, we are posted to secondary schools to teach. Most of us even volunteered to teach. You can put it under there. But context, when you're putting all these things, always ask yourself, what was your impact in these organizations? Were you just teaching? Did the students learn? Did they get better? Like, yes, there'll be room for questions, please. Let's just try and just get the gist, right? So everything Dr. Adeleke has said, I'm just trying to hint some other specific things that you people might be overlooking. When it comes to award, down to that is the slightest thing that you got that you are awarded for, put it. If you were giving money, even if it was 500 naira, I'm just saying, add it. The reason is this, you're showing them that let me tell you, like, applying for graduate programs and they see that your awards and all of that, it shows how competitive you are. Trust me. I keep telling people that when you go for the money, it's not all about your financial background. It's actually about how competitive you are. Because there are people that are way financially imbalanced than you are, that got the money, or that didn't get the money because they were not able to sell themselves well. So your CV has to be very strategic with your SOP. So that's what I have to say about CV. And publication. Yes, Doug said something, but I feel like here in Canada, I don't know about US, but I think that here in Canada it's not a must. If you have, fine, but it's advisable. See, if you want to stand out, have at least one. Me, I now have publication, like article, like journal, peer reviewed, but I had published several articles on Nigerian lawyer blogs and all of that. I had like 5. What was related to my field, wow. I did that. So it's not about. So don't follow me. So don't put. You can do something and just
you
say.
Did something. They should put 5.
So just have like, yeah, I actually had
wow.
I did even one in a magazine and all of that. So like, you just need to. What they're just looking at is, this person has if this person can write this and that, that means you have you can write, you can do research. That means they're not going to be spending time teaching you how to do
writing
research.
Proficiency. That's a skill.
Exactly. So you need to do that. And then in skills, we have soft skills. And if you can use Canva to design some certain, that's a soft skill. If you know how to code, I volunteered as a coding teacher. I learned. I cannot remember it now, but then I learned. It was in my CV. What am I trying to tell you? We have skills. Language is a skill. Yeah. I don't know why people always have a separate section for language. Language is a skill. Come and tell us the languages that you know how to speak. English or Yoruba or all those things. You can write it. It's a skill. Computer skills are different. That is a skill. So you need to now tell us the kind of computer skills that you have. So please, when you're working on your CV, don't think that they will not look at it. They look at it because they're looking for every single opportunity to remove a candidate. And that's fact. Let me even shock you. In Canada, they don't select in every cohort. I don't think we're more than 7. 7 is even, that's to tell you how competitive it is. And when I say 7, I'm talking about PhD and masters. Because for them to be giving you 30,000, 38,000 Canadian dollars every year, they have to be sure that people are small. So here it's very competitive. So imagine when 1,000 people are applying and they're selecting just 7. Why should you be among the 7? Look at your CV now and tell yourself the truth. If they are selecting, would they select you? So let's go back to SOP. And then after the SOP, we'll try and answer the questions that are here and then we'll proceed. Thank you. Doc?
Okay.
Yeah.
Briefly, a lot has been said about the SOP, but for the sake of time, our SOP, it's a document that, again, that reflects the nature of your candidacy. It speaks a lot about yourself. That's the first thing that you use in presenting yourself to your prospective supervisors. And so as such, you must provide insight into what drives you. You must talk about your levels of professional advancement, your professional growth, as well as your own personal growth. Okay. And I would group it into three major things. Okay. Into three major categories: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Of course, we all know that our SOP should have an attention-grabbing hook. You should start very well. Okay. And of course, the brief introduction should be about yourself, about your background, about your source of motivation, and how it relates to you applying to graduate school. Okay, that should be your introduction. And then you should have the body of the work. What you should talk majorly about your SOP. What you should talk majorly about, what you should talk about in your body should be your relevant experiences and accomplishments as it relates to the field you are going to study. Okay, and you could reflect example 1, example 2, example 3 as much as possible. Dwell on that. Okay, what are your professional goals as we are applying for this program? Talk about that. Why are you interested in this particular school? And what are you bringing to the table? Why should they invest in you? Nobody wants to waste money. You must tell them. Okay, and lastly, you must provide, a brief summary, that emphasizes your qualification and how you are able to fit and how you are the best fit into that school. Okay. And you see, the thing is, while you do all of this, you must read what you write. You must edit, you must refine what you work, you must refine your work, you must review your work, and as much as possible, you must make efforts to reach out to experts who can help you to review your work. It's also very, very important. You must, like I always say, you must check, you must double check, and you must recheck your work. Okay, as much as possible. Okay, and I have a few tips here that I'd like to share. Okay, focus on your unique experience and qualities. Okay, consider institutional qualities that you require, include them. Talk about your time in school. Discuss your research interests. Okay, and read other people's statements too. Read up so that you can also compare and contrast. Like I said again, ask for help. Reach out to professionals to help you read and review. Okay, and check your work, double check, and recheck your work before sending. That's all.
Thank you very much, Doc. To just add to that, I'll just say one thing. You have to tell a story. Who is innocent, or who is Grace, or who is Mary, or who are you?
Exactly.
Why did you even study psychology in the first place? You have to tell a story. Because see, your first paragraph, right, has to either do one of these things. It has to make you a reader, because you're not talking to robots. They're human beings. They have feelings, right? Make sure that your story is something that is either that will make this person to laugh, to feel, oh my God, shocked. Are you serious? I'll use a STEM story. Now that STEM story is, for instance, someone in engineering is telling you that the first time he saw a moving car was at the age of 18. If I was the person that was reading that, I'll be like, are you kidding me? What? Wow. I'll not be interested to read further. Don't come out and start telling us some very weird things. Oh, I've always known I was going to be an engineer, or I've always known I was going to be a lawyer. The first time I saw a moving car was at the age of 18. If I was the person that was reading that, I'll be like, are you kidding me? What? For some reason, I was hearing myself. I don't know if you were hearing.
It's better now.
Okay, thank you. So you need to tell a story. Who are you? Like, you need to tell that story, because you need to get their mind. Some SOPs are boring, and that's how it will be boring for those people. So you have to make it very interesting, straight to the point, short sentences. Don't come out in one sentence. I reviewed one SOP I think before Christmas. Doc, if you see this SOP, a whole page, there was no single paragraph.
Jesus.
In short, half of it was like there was no comma. No, I just said, you know what? I can't read this. You have to be very, very intentional. You can't just submit anything.
Exactly.
That's the same way they will touch your application. It's a fact. It's not every application that they will go through. If from the beginning they don't get, because they're not robots. These are human beings. So work on your story. Now let's just quickly go to the questions. So Kehinde said, right now I'm in my 400 level psychology, going to finish in my 500 level by January. Can I apply with partial transcript? I know someone who did. So yes, you can. It's not called partial. It's an in progress transcript, which means you're still in school, right? So you're applying, and they know that you're still in school. So yes, you can. Doc, do you have any contrary opinion?
The person said she's in 400 level, right?
Yeah, be graduating to finish 500 level by January next year. So it's actually if he can apply for masters with his transcript that shows from 100 level to 400 level.
You can't. There's no harm in trying.
Exactly. I know a girl who got fully funded from BSc. She was not even done. She was in her third year or so, and she got fully funded program from BSc to PhD in the US, and she got another offer in South Korea. Like, so it doesn't matter. Just apply. You don't know whether those opportunities will be there for you when you're done.
Exactly.
Someone asked, I have a BSc in microbiology. Finished in 2018 and went into fashion designing. Okay, because I was wondering. I make mail. Okay, please, how do I go about my master's program in fashion designing? So now, if you switched course, right, you already have an experience that you're already doing that. Personally, if you're doing fashion designing, Doc, I don't know why I feel like this person should do MBA. I don't know.
MBA?
I don't know. I don't know why I feel. I know that there's a course for fashion designing. That means you have to really tell a very compelling story.
Exactly.
Why you switched all the way from microbiology to fashion designing.
That's a drastic career shift. You must be able to justify that. If you can justify that.
Because me, I'm looking at it as you probably went into that because of, no job and all of that. That's me just looking at it on the other side. That's why I'm like, if it's MBA, you can tell a story that, while you were in school, you owned your own fashion this, and because of that, you decided to say, you know what, I want to own my own fashion this, and I need to get the experience and all of that. That's a story, but not very compelling. We need something, because I can't tell you your story. But if I tell you this story, there are so many people that are listening and that will still listen to this video that will use it. So you need to look at yourself and ask yourself, what is that thing that makes you who you are? Why did you switch? Why did you not continue with microbiology? Why did you, why? Like completely different, like from, so you need like a very, but it's possible. You can. Yes, thank you, Faith. Some professors have their contact information in their papers. Yes, that's true. For someone looking for a fully funded PhD, blah, 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 when should I start emailing? This is the time to start emailing this is the time. Now, build a relationship with them. Like, even, like what I mean now, start now. Like, yes, but let's assume she has not started. Start now, start emailing them. You've read the article, but send that cold email. Follow up. Don't be waiting, just start. Will the SOP suffice for research proposal? Because the skill require, I don't understand. No. SOP is different. No. Research proposal is different. Please don't confuse the two. No. How many proposals should one prepare? Like, can one have different proposals for different situations? Now, it depends on whether you are the type of person that wants to do different courses, different area of research in different schools. No problem. But if I always advise you have one research proposal that you can now paraphrase and fine-tune into each school's
that you can modify. That you can
modify. That's the word. Modification. That's the word. So I had one, for instance, when I was applying to University of Saskatchewan, they say 5 pages. I gave them 5 pages. University of Victoria, which is my current school, say 2 pages. I had to modify that one, brought it down to 2. So you need just one. Don't go and be killing yourself and disturbing your head and getting different proposals. I saw, please, what if your certificate is no way related to your study? For instance, UX design certificate while applying for, it doesn't matter. We've told you that is the story. And trust me, there is someone that is currently doing her PhD at UVic. Her bachelor's and master's were in, I think, religion. I even know one that did music, and they're currently doing their PhD in law. The question is, were you able to tell a good story as to why you changed? That's just it. So know that the word here is the story, your story. Does coursework or dissertation count as publication? No, please, they don't. That's a research experience. So now, if you published your dissertation, yes, you can add it. But if you did not publish it, it was just university standard in terms of, you presented your dissertation, please leave it in the education section, please. What if the conferences are not related to the field I'm applying for? Can I still include them? I have a problem with even including conferences that you did not go and present your paper. Personally, I have a problem with it. But if you must, let it be related to what you're applying for. It's not if you went for fashion or music concert, you add it there and say you went for conference. No, please. It should be in relation to your field. Also, when you speak of voluntary activities, can we include NYSC camp activities like platoon? That's a leadership. Of course, you can. I also have a problem with adding NYSC. I'll tell you why. I feel like in those, for instance, my CDS was NAFDAC. I won't come out and write NAFDAC. After writing NAFDAC, I'll come and tell you CDS. No, I will not. Or, no, I can write CDS because nobody community development service at blah blah. But I won't come out and write NYSC. No, I won't do that. I don't know why. Like, I feel like they don't know what NYSC is. The people you're applying don't know what NYSC is, and you're coming to tell them that they don't understand. So don't give them room to be asking questions in the room when you're not there. Oh, why? What is NYSC? Don't. So I feel like you should just write what platoon leader. It is. I don't know how to fight. Doc, do you think they should write NYSC? Because personally, I don't do that.
Well, like you've said, situations also differ. Okay, each situation may require some level of dynamics, and in cases where they are confused like this, they could consult. But I feel that all of these experiences could count. So if there's a way you can,
yes, they count.
If you can fix it, and also find a way to strike a balance and it relates, then it's not a bad idea.
Yes, you can add it. But me, instead of me to put NYSC, for instance, when I'm working, they were paying me. Let me say, for instance, I worked at ECOWAS, and you expect me to write NYSC at the end.
Can you add me to biology?
I don't want to hear you, Isaac. You have to learn this one. This is like the third time you are saying that they've moved you. You will learn it today, please. Thank you. So yes, I did not write NYSC at the back of my ECOWAS. I just wrote legal officer, ECOWAS Parliament. It's huge. But when I add NYSC, they're not wondering. So that means if you don't do NYSC,
they shouldn't add NYSC. But you can add the experience. You can add the experience and what you did.
Exactly.
You don't need to measure it.
Exactly. So now let's round up. They say we have 1 more minute. Then a question from YouTube. I'm in 400 level. Can I apply with? I'm sure you've answered that question. Yes, you can apply with an in-progress transcript. You don't need to graduate. So this is for you, Dr. Adeleke. For those of us that hasn't written any publication other than our undergraduate project, can that stand in? That's your research experience. I don't know. Like we've answered that question. A graduate in business management and switching to computer science more in the kindly advise her. You have to tell a story why all of a sudden you are switching from management to computer science and all of that. Is there any research proposal for economics education? You have started. If a school requires an blah blah, is it possible to seek? Yes. If a school says they want you to write English proficiency, yes, you can ask them for a waiver. The worst that can happen is no. They'll tell you no, but just ask. Giving us a summary of your roadmap from
somebody just got a waiver. There's nothing wrong. Apply.
Exactly. Apply.
Education fee waiver.
Someone is asking for my roadmap from no admission to admission. There's no time, but I would definitely tell that story. Maybe in February. Just wait. We don't have time. This message is very long. Do I have to come up with a story as to why I'm doing? Yes, please. I think that's what you mean. Does a 2-2 graduate have a chance in second? Oh my God, especially mathematics. Hey, Kehinde, you should have gone to mathematics breakout room. But don't worry, when they come back to the general room, you can ask the question. But I think so. 2-2 is not, like in the US, 2-2s are getting fully funded scholarship. It's not a joke. I'm currently an Master of Philosophy student in finance, MPhil in my final semester, and I'm interested in public finance, but it's more in economics. Is it advisable to apply for a PhD in economics straight away or do another economics, please? Doc, what do you think? Instead of going to do another master's again. The person is doing currently an MPhil student in finance. They're like almost the same. Finance, accounting, economics, they're kind of the same. I don't see why
doctoral programs, or within the doctoral programs, you show and you concentrate on an area and you become an expert in that area. So if you are doing MPhil, what this person MPhil means, that means the person didn't qualify for the minimal score for a doctoral program and is doing this. So why don't you continue? Why do you change?
So some of them want to, maybe the person figured out that there's money in that field. You understand? So maybe, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the questions I've gotten. To round up, yeah, how to gain a research experience. I saw that question. It's very, see, if you, right now, if you have a 2-2, if you have a third class, so if you have, it's not any grade that you have, because first class, don't think because you have first class, so that there are opportunities for you, is a very big lie. You'll be there, somebody that had to take that position from you. It's fact. How do you not get a research experience? See, STEM people, they're always taking the money. We need to go and take the money. Timmy, they're here. Dr. Shewo, please, I'm not.
You want to take the money too now? You want to take the money?
No, please, guys, you people should go and volunteer with research institutes. Please. Go and volunteer. Like, you'll be so amazed. Like, after like 8 months and you come back, you'll be so happy. You'll be proud of yourself. That's the only way you can get research experience. Let's assume you don't know. Okay, I posted a link to all the research institutes in Nigeria. I'll try and retweet it today. But then another sweet way is go to your supervisor. Tell him that you want to work with him on a project. Voluntary. Just tell him. It's your experience. That's the only way you can move forward. And we will have to stop our session now because, yeah, thank you. Dr. Adeni, over to you. And thank you, Dr. Adeleke, for everything, your words, everything were fantastic.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I learned a lot from you. Thank you so much.
So cool.
Queen of non-STEM.
Mr. Oluwaseun.
I got it up.
Since you know one greet me now, I greet you now.
Sorry, sir. You know, yeah. You know now.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we are waiting for.
Hello, sir. Can you add me to biological science? My phone had issues, so I switched on to another phone.
My apologies, sir. I'm afraid that's not possible because every other room is back to the mainstream.
Can I close all the rooms?
I think we should have all the rooms here by now, isn't it?
No, I think there are some people in the other room. Yeah,
you should close the room, otherwise the discussion will continue.
Yeah, they will not. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think we still have. We're left with some of the speakers, right?
I mean, like, within the next 5 seconds, we'll be here. No worries.
That's an intentional wickedness. I think we should give it up for the queen of non-STEM.
Oh,
she really has their time.
Geez, like it's so nice to see all of it. Timmy with the money. Timmy has money. Anyway, people see him.
Ola just the look. Everybody just get this earpiece. Now people will get money, they use that kind of headphone.
I can't even guess. I'm telling you.
Like you are in BCO. You are saying I'm with the money, right?
Sir,
Should I cast
had
You have
my
money. You have money. You have money.
Dr.
Forget.
Energy, I said you guys that use this headphone, too much money.
well, like, how much do you need?
Like, see, Dr. Lawa as well. Dr. Lawa as well, you know. You guys
Now
are
my
just
love
showing
buy
off.
this up for me. I beg go. Me, I don't get money.
Sorry,
I beg.
sorry. Can you say that
Okay.
again, Doc? Can you say that again, Doctor?
Don't worry, don't worry. God will remember
Okay,
us.
guys, we are back to the room. Just 1 minute, please. Okay.
Choma, hello.
Choma is rich. Oh, people should bill her. I'm just
Where?
she's in Japan.
Where? Rich where?
Okay. So I want to believe we have all the speakers here, right? Isn't it? Is there anybody left out?
Yeah,
Dr.
I've
Dansu.
not Dr. Dansu.
Yeah, except for Dr. Dansu and Dr. Fadbe, right? I'm not sure she's here.
I'm here.
Where are you? Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I can see you are here. I can't see Dr. Aboyade. Where is she?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yes, I want to welcome everybody back to this side of the town, and I hope we all enjoyed our sessions. Okay, let me believe so. Okay, let me start with the non-STEM first. I'm going to put this through to Dr. Adeleke and Summer. I can say Summer is smiling because the non-STEM are the guys we heard on the live stream. And I want to believe you all answered the questions on YouTube too, because there are some questions rolling in on YouTube. Were you guys able to answer it? We posted some.
We were able to answer the ones on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome. So for all other rooms, and you still have more questions, please, I want you to put the question through to everybody on this all the speakers now in the general room before I say what I want to say. So do we have any question? Any question as touching all that you've learned?
Someone has her hand up, Miriam. So you can just
Okay, Miriam, you have the floor. Miriam, you can ask your question.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, please, I'm the MPhil student who asked the question. MPhil in finance. I raised my hand a couple of minutes ago. I was saying that I searched for potential supervisors interested in public finance, but I realized that most of them are found in the economics department. Most of them are economics professors. So I was wondering if I would have to gain additional knowledge in economics before venturing into the PhD, or I could just get into it straight away without having any difficulty because of the mathematics background that might be required.
Okay, did we get the question? So I'm putting the question through to the speakers. Anybody can answer. And I want to suggest that while we are doing that, please, there are several questions in the chat box. Please, can we attend to them? Okay, so we have the floor to answer the question.
You
hello.
Please, can you mute your mic, please? If you want to talk, you have to raise your hands, please. Thank you.
For the last speaker, I'm not very sure about what you asked anyway. But from the little you asked, you said you're currently doing your MPhil. Am I correct?
Yes, please. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
so that means you did not MPhil like MPhil, like not meeting
Yes,
up with
in
requirements
finance.
for a doctoral program?
Pardon?
Not meeting up the requirement for a doctoral program and then going for MPhil. Is that it?
No, I'm saying that I'm an MPhil student in finance.
That's what I'm saying. You already have your master's, right?
I'm still in the program. I'm almost done.
You have your master's. You have your master's degree in finance.
No, I am still an MPhil student. I'm in my final semester.
MPhil is different from master's.
Yes, I said MPhil.
That's what I'm saying. I said you already have your master's in finance, and
Yes.
then your
Yes,
MPhil,
and I'm
right?
writing my thesis.
Okay, that's fine. And then you're thinking of changing to economics.
Yes.
Well,
because of her mathematics background, she wants to know if she will do well in economics, since she has almost all supervisors are coming from economics rather than finance. I think that's what she's trying to say.
Yes.
Does she have BSc in? Do you have BSc
Yes,
in mathematics? Do you have any knowledge of? Do you have any mathematics background?
your ability.
So
Please speak up.
okay, so my BSc was in administration. I majored in accounting. So there I did quantitative methods. I did business math. Then at the MPhil level, because of the thesis, we did econometrics, done macroeconomics, microeconomics, financial economics, but that is not enough. I don't think that is enough knowledge in economics to proceed to the PhD level in economics.
I think it will depend on the area of economics that you want to do your PhD. Yes, I'm saying this because I am a pure mathematician. I did pure mathematics both from undergraduate to PhD level. But in my PhD level, I was doing a particular research. I was coming from the area of the pure mathematics. I went to engineering. I needed to do application in economics. So I went ahead to collaborate with those people in economics. Although I was modeling a particular household consumption problem. So I'm not an economist, though, but because I needed the application in economics, I had to speak economics. I had to speak their terms. So I had to go to the foundations of economics and start learning, then liaising with those in economics. Now, for your own research, for your own history, what you have done, we have microeconomics, we have econometrics, we have some aspects of economics that deal with mathematics. You will do more of mathematics. I think if you speak with a particular professor or your proposed supervisors at PhD level, you need to find out the interest of such a supervisor. Is the person more into mathematics economics? For instance, when I consulted those people in economics, those who I wanted to collaborate with, the associate professor in that economics department directed me to one of his PhD supervisee. He supervised that man under PhD level, but the man, also a doctor in that same department, is more of a mathematics person because he did BSc mathematics before he delved into economics. So the man himself directed me to him that I should go and speak with him because he understands my mathematical language. So eventually he was the one I collaborated with, and we brought out some beautiful results. So that's why I'm saying, can you speak with your potential supervisor, look at his interest. Is he into, because there's no way you can do finance without economics. It may not, without mathematics. Economics and mathematics, it may not be the core mathematics. Of course, most courses are based on the core principles of mathematics. So those people will have to put you through, and you can say most times PhD research work, you don't really know where it's going to end until you go into it and you start speaking with people, and if you have a good supervisor, I will put you through.
Miriam, I would suggest if you need more clarity,
Yes.
you try and talk with Dr. Otmayemi Fadbemigum. Do you understand? But so far, are you clear to an extent? I'll take that to be a yes. Okay. Kay, please, there is a question that has to do with mathematics in the chat. Can you please just attend to it? Then Isaac Muiwa, please, what's your question? I want you to be very brief about it. Very, very brief. Isaac Muiwa. Okay. iPhone, that's what you start your name with. So can you have the floor? Can you ask a question?
Hi guys, good evening everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please, I really want to direct my question to Ms. Summer and the non-STEM guys. Is she hearing me?
She can hear you.
Summer. Hi, Ms. Summer.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. Hello, sir.
Isaac, hold on, Isaac, hold on. Let iPhone be through with his question, then we'll get back to you. So iPhone,
Okay.
please make it very brief.
Okay, so thank you, sir. I'm sorry, my name is
Good evening,
Prince.
sir.
I've not gotten the settings yet. Please, Ms. Summer, you heard the question earlier on you should throw a bit light on your non-admission status to your admission status. And what that would be very helpful is that I was going to ask a question about, I did political and international studies from undergraduate here. So I would now like to pursue a career in international relations, diplomacy, or anything related. Now, for someone like me that my only research would be my undergraduate project. I don't know. I was trying to ask earlier, but you wouldn't. I don't know. You didn't really place enough. I guess you were rushing to round up the session, so we'll meet up here. I don't know if my undergraduate research undergraduate project rather might come in as my research work at any time. I don't know if you got that, Ma.
So if I understand what you're saying, I'm not ma'am, please. My name is Summer. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So,
Ms.
but
Summer.
so if I got you correctly, you are asking if you can use your undergraduate thesis as part of your research experience.
Yes.
Yes, like it's a very big yes. But it's not a publication, because I saw a question like that. Your thesis is not a publication except you published it. So so how you would write it under the research experience section is to say undergraduate researcher and then the name of your school, right? Then you tell us what articles did you review, what was the data you collected, what was the finding of your research. That is what should be there. So you don't have to come out and just write your thesis title and no, that's not where it's meant to be. I told you it's meant to be under the education section. I don't know if I was able to clear that.
Okay. All right, that will help.
Thank you.
All right, please, Ms. Summer. I'm sorry, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Are you there? Please, I would really like to send a DM on Twitter. I don't know. Please, would you let me? Please.
It's not SOP and CV related. If it's not SOP. Okay, no problem. Sure.
Send Ms. Summer a message on Twitter. Definitely she'll respond to you. Thank you very much, iPhone. Odochi, you have the floor. I'll make it very brief, please. Odochi. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. So I have a couple of questions, and I think they're just a little bit all over the place, but very quickly, like you said. The first one is, if you've received a rejection letter from a school and it's not clearly stated why it is you were rejected, because Summer actually mentioned the situation where she got like, or maybe someone's situation where they told them, okay, it was because you didn't do this. That is the reason why you were rejected. I mean, that clearly gives you like a perspective of how to tailor your next application. For a school that doesn't give you that kind of reason, it just shows you that you're not admitted on your portal. Do you apply again? I feel like, does that hurt your chances? That's one. Secondly, I know that you have sort of answered this question. The other question is, when you're stating articles that you have published, do they necessarily have to be in line with what you want to study in that particular school? I don't know if that's like a necessity, because I mean, from my perspective, I'll think, why are you telling me, or why are you showing me publications of things that are not related to what it is you want to study? I mean, it doesn't make sense that they should think like that, but you never know what some of the criteria are for some schools. And then the last one is, I think someone was saying something about telling stories about your, maybe just telling stories in your SOP. I mean, it's a little bit conflicting, because I mean, that's where I like to think that I shine, because, you know, like a catchy title. I am an English teacher, so I know for some reason you have to, you know, try to hook the reader. But then when you tend to see other research, or rather some supervisors tell you how to go about your SOPs, they tell you just go straight to the point. They're not interested in stories and all that. So there's just a little bit of a conundrum, or like an overlap there between, I mean, what to expect in your SOP. You know, one people are on the online, when you research, are saying, you know what, do a catchy title, just tell your story, and the others are saying, no supervisor has time to waste on your SOP. Just go straight to the point, reel out all your research experience, your interest, and why you want to come to that particular school. So I think these are my questions, the three of them. Sorry if I took a lot of time.
Yeah, Utuchi, I think your first question, your first question is on I can't remember. You asked plenty question, but let me answer the last one that I can remember. So now, if your supervisor or if the school says go straight to the point, then go straight to the point. But why I said the first paragraph has to be a story is because you have to actually get the attention of the reader. Like it's not a two-way thing. If you can't get the attention of the reader, then it's a problem. So, but if the school wants you to just go straight to the point, oh, why are you applying for this boom? Which I'm still finding it hard to. But yeah, if that's the school, then that's fine. So your first question, just to say the last thing that you said, because
the first question is like, do you reapply when you get the rejection,
okay,
although you're
yes,
not
the
told
rejection.
why you were rejected?
Now, rejection letters are different. There are so many people that are applying to that school, so they will always send you a generic email. Most schools. This person applied for the Erasmus and used an unofficial transcript. That's why he got an email saying, oh, we did not proceed to reviewing your application because you did not submit an official transcript. That one is different. Not all schools will do that. Not all organizations will do that. Now, if you want to apply, that means you need to make sure that you do better. Your application comes out stronger, right? So what it means is that if they don't have maybe publication or something, then you have to do that. But personally, I don't think I'll apply to a school that did not accept me first. I don't know, but personally.
Exactly, because I don't even want to worry about that anymore. I'm moving on. Yes, I feel so bad.
Yeah,
So
there are tons of other
they're
schools.
lost, to be honest. Exactly.
Exactly, they are lost. Yeah. So what's your second question?
Articles that are unrelated to the field of your study. Like if you have published some or research, if you've done some research in areas that are not related in where you want to, what you want to apply.
Okay, let me just tell you something from my own point of view. I told you I did not really have like a peer-reviewed article, but I had articles that I published in magazines. One of them was on Big Brother Nigeria. One of them was on tax. One of them was on cybercrime. And I am doing indigenous law. It's just showing that you have the capability of carrying out research. And remember, not when you're applying to grad school, publication is not actually like number one. That's not what they're looking for. So if you have it, you don't have it, fine. There are other criteria that they're looking at. So personally, it doesn't matter because to me, they didn't question any of that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Samuel.
Welcome.
Okay, Udochi, thank you very much. Isaac Muyiwa, hold on. I think your question, I sent it to Dr. Adeleke. I don't know if Dr. Adeleke can answer that. It's on the chat box. So Isaac, Dr. Adeleke will answer you. Then straight to Olu. Olu, you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you so much for this session. I got a lot of answers, but I also want to ask a question. Basically, someone was saying something about sending an email to a professor about your research and the rest like that. So I was thinking, the whole essence of this scholarship thing, okay, after applying to a particular school, for instance, I had a tutor in my undergraduate studies. After having that, okay, I'm looking at the qualification and like, okay, the university's requirement is a minimum of a 2-1, for instance. And I think, okay, I want to go for this, but the fees are extremely high at the same time. And I'm thinking, okay, so should I just go ahead and still email a professor in that particular field that I'm interested in, accounting and finance?
Okay, can Brosho answer that? I don't know if you're there.
I can answer that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Shem, just answer. No, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was thankful that you want to bail me out. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I think
Dr. Opayemilawa, please get ready for the next question by Angela Alakit.
Okay, so I think, Olu, if the requirement is 2-1, that's the thing. You don't like. You have to go to a school that is not grade specific. If they say 2-1, don't bother applying. I know someone that applied to UBC and had a 2-2 when they said 2-1, and it was automatically rejected. She emailed and said, why? They said, because, okay, what was your grade? She said 2-2. Do you understand? So if the school said 2-1 and you don't have a 2-1, don't apply. I don't even bother emailing because even if the supervisor says, I like your work, I told you it's 50-50. You will still go to the national level to compete. And what if you don't ticket? So like there's no point wasting the supervisor's time and all of that. Yeah. So just go to schools that US, there are so many schools that accept 2-2s, fully funded.
Okay, so the whole summary of everything is email the professor in that particular field you want to study and you want to research. And if it's interested in your work, the probability of getting the scholarship is going to be high.
Yeah, like I said, I said it's
50-50.
I don't. Were you in the non-STEM class? Were you in the non-STEM session?
Yeah, I'm in the non-STEM class.
So that means you heard my story about when I emailed a professor and he said yes, and I still didn't get it.
Yeah, I heard the story clearly.
So like that's it. So it doesn't make your case different. So it's just like you never can tell. It could be a yes, it could be a no. But if you're qualified in terms of every single thing, grade wise, the documents then yes, you're sure that maybe you will get in. But if you're having a 2-2 and they want a 2-1, that's even when they'll remove you because each program they're looking for people they'll remove. It's a fact.
Okay, thank you so much.
So look for professors and schools where you meet the requirements.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Dr. Pemilawa, I don't know if you've gone through Angela Alakit's question. If you can answer that, very brief.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think I've read the question of the chat session.
Okay.
And the very first thing I would like to say is I really I'm not familiar with Romanian government scholarship, but if you want to take a clue from other government scholarships, in most cases they would ask you to apply to universities, right? So if you're having problem in converting your CGPA to that of the Romanian government or the universities, I will advise that you send an email to the grad school department or grad school coordinator of that particular university to ask them how to guide you on how to convert your CGPA to the GPA of the Romanian government itself. I think that's a very simple thing you have to do. If you cannot get any resources online, the best thing is to go straight to the source, which is the universities you're applying to get the idea of how to convert those CGPA to that. And that's all. Yeah. So is there any other question you'd like me to answer?
It seems as if Isaac Muyoai. Okay, Isaac, do you have the floor? What's the question?
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Actually, I asked part of the question in that section. So the thing is that I'm looking at graduate scholarships, and actually I was looking at master's scholarship, and then some persons told me that I can also apply for direct doctoral scholarship. It's actually my friend. My friend is currently on a 4.88. He's looking forward to get 4.9, and 4.6 will be forward to get 4.70. And so we were told that we can apply for direct doctoral scholarships. So what I was trying to ask is that how do I go about it? Do I have to start emailing the professors, and what would I say is my driving force? Of course, I know that for doctoral scholarships, for direct doctoral scholarships, we have to have this research stuff we want to do, and then we look for professors in our area of research. But right now, I'm just about to do my undergraduate project. I'm working on female reproduction, but then I'm trying to major on neuro. Is how do I go about all of this? And there was a comment on PI in the comment section. I didn't really get what PI is. Can you please?
Okay. Mayor, what country are you looking at?
I'm looking at Canada or USA.
Okay, I think Dr. Oluwaseun can help with that. Very straightforward.
Right. Yeah, thank you. I mean, if you're looking at USA, then you can do a straight PhD, and what you just need to show is that you have a very strong CGPA and you have a very good research experience. I mean, it's even good now that you're just planning to have your research. And one of the things I think we are sharing this in my group at that time, that it's always very nice, especially if you are aware of what you want to do in the next couple of years as early as possible, because you can start charting your course so that you can make adequate preparation. So, for example, since you've not started your undergraduate research, one of the conversations you can have with your potential supervisor, undergraduate supervisor, is the kind of research you want to do based on what you want to apply for your PhD. So there's straight PhD in the United States, and most PI, so PI means principal investigators. So most PI are actually interested in people that are going to come for PhD instead of masters, because masters is short time, 2 years, 3 years, but they prefer that they rather spend their energy trying to teach people skills, techniques that are going to stay in their lab for 5 to 6 years, because they know that these persons are going to be there, for a very long time, publishing papers for them and every other thing like that. So, Isaac, what I'm going to advise you right now is that, talk with your advisor and tailor whatever undergraduate research you want to work on, that's going to be kind of related to the PhD that you're going to be applying for in the next couple of months. Does that make sense?
Very well, sir.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take the last question, and because we need to close in the next few minutes. Olu, I'm calling you for the last time. What's the question?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please be very brief about it.
Okay. My first question is on response to. By the way, I'm not. My area is non-STEM, so that.
Okay. So can Olu, I'm so sorry. Can you do me a favor?
Okay.
The favor is this: can you please reach out to Summer and Dr. Adeleke with respect to non-STEM? Is that fine? Yes, it's because of time. Believe you me, reach out to them. They will definitely give you a VIP treatment. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I want to bring all this to a close because in the next 10 minutes we should be through from here. Dr. I'm going to call on Dr. Oluwase Yabayade. Reason because reason being that the whole stuff is the whole thing about it is from the undergraduate to the postgraduate level, and for some of us or for everybody, there is always a middle ground. There's always a middle ground between the academia and the industry. And I feel so much that Dr. Oluwase Yabayade, she's experienced and vast in that aspect, because once you get the scholarship and you are able to stay within the right confinement of your research field, there's also another side to it, which is the industry side. And it's both for non-STEM and STEM. So within the next 2-3 minutes, I don't know if Dr. Oluwase Aboyade is there to just tell us about the industry part of the academia.
Good evening, everyone. It's been quite a few hours that we spent together. So I tell people my story, and I tell them that I remember in my third year, walking down from one end of campus to the other late at night. I told a group of friends that were walking together that I want to be an academic. That was 1997. And they were like, "Heish, you're just in part 3. Why are you thinking that far?" I'm like, I think I'm going to enjoy it. So I had a goal that early, and I decided to pursue it. So at no point did I have a lot of work experience as in industry, because my focus was I must get a master's, I must get my PhD, I must be a professor, and I must be a VC kind of thing, you know. So it was like that. And I got in. But what I realized quite late is the fact that academia can take so much. As in, there's not enough space for everybody to be in academics. And in my journeys and to different countries I've been to, I've met people who sat down 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years of postdoc, waiting for a professor to die or to retire before they can get a tenured position. And it was not an interesting discovery, because why? Why should I continue in a place where I'm not completely fulfilling my dreams, waiting for somebody to die or to retire? Then I met my current mentor, and he showed me a different perspective of things, that industry is possible. And you can align yourself in such a way where you can have a PhD and you can be in industry and you can be successful. It took me a while to get my system reorientated. The fact that, so Sheyi, you would, you wouldn't, I love talking, I love teaching. You wouldn't be teaching, now you would go into industry. But I can tell you that my journeys, at least till now, I still have a bit of leg in the university where I have students that I'm supervising and I'm in industry. And I'm hoping that I continue to do that till some point where I can go home and just be an emeritus professor or something, and I can still impact knowledge. But the one thing I would like you guys to put in mind, especially if you are doing a PhD or you're doing a postdoc, is the fact that you might not, your chances of getting a full-time academic position might not be 60 or 70 or 80%. So if this does not happen, what next? What should I do? And we need to start thinking about that now, because so that you would not get to a point where you become depressed or frustrated about the fact that you're not getting a full-time academic position. My first degree was in biochemistry, and I did my master's in pharmacognosy, and I did a PhD in botany with a focus on safety of medicinal plants for health, different health conditions and all that. And believe you me, I've spent quite a few years in public health, and I looked at the public health impact of traditional medicine use. And it was then I realized that I can go to so many places and I can walk, because I've not limited myself in the knowledge I had gained over a period of time. When I spoke to a lady some time ago that Dr. Jimmy introduced me to, I told her that make sure that whoever you want to be your mentor is not a rigid person, and the person is flexible enough to see all the different opportunities he or she can expose you to, so that you can have a life outside of the university system. Because that is the true nature of things as it is now. You might be lucky and you might get an academic job, fine. Or you might even be going into this postgrad degree just because you want to leave Nigeria, and you get in, and when you're done, it is what next? So I need us to get to a place where in decision-making, in our future decision-makings, and also from now on, we should have it at the back of my mind that industry is possible. And the good thing about industry, they say professors are poor, industry you are rich. Because your salary as a professor, yes, for some it's comfortable enough for them, but in industry, there are so many opportunities that you can pick from. And there are so many things that you can do. And they said, and everybody knows right now because of the economy that one entry of income is not enough to make you comfortable. So yeah, there are different things. You have to have different pots, and a source of income that is coming into you. And one of the things that I also tell people is the fact that you need to make sure that you continue to improve yourself post-master's or post-PhD, because every improvement is an addition to your CV, which would open doors that might not be opened if you didn't have such experience. And that is the truth. Quite a number of Nigerians, in fact, if you look at the percentage of Nigerians with postgraduate degrees or PhDs, you would see that there are quite a number of us all over the world. And lots of them are doing very well in industry. So especially my focus is really on people in STEM, in the biological sciences, because positions are limited in the biological sciences. There are more positions in industry than in academia for biological sciences. So if you're in biological sciences, try as much as possible to improve yourself so that you're marketable to the industry. You listen to so many stories on Twitter, if you follow academia in North America, and you hear that, and you listen to their experiences, and you hear that today I'm dropping it because I've stayed for so long, I've not been able to get a tenured position, and I'm going to industry that's paying me 3 or 4 times of what I'm getting, and all that and all that. So we need to be able to make sure that whatever it is you are doing now, as a master's student or as a PhD student, you are making yourself marketable to the industry. Because if you don't, then there will be a bit of problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Shea. And that's very profound. Now, that's the genesis, and that's the, excuse me, please. That's the genesis and that's the revelation. So we've come to the end. Thank you. We've come to the end of today's meeting. Before I give my parting word, I want to ask each of the speakers for an encouragement to everybody, starting from Dr. Adeleke by my screen. Very, very brief.
You are muted, sir.
You're muted. Okay.
Knowledge without application is a waste. So I'm going to advise that all of the things that our prospective applicants are planning to do, if they don't make effort to apply them, it should have been a waste of time. I want to encourage them to put in the hard work. They must be ready to do all it takes, to apply whatever it is they've learned. And of course, they should pray. As is to work, put in the effort, and it goes to bless the reward. So you must put in the work and also pray and believe. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Adeleke. Yeah, Madam Blessing Mobology. And very brief.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to say that with the students, these prospects, all of them should know that nothing is impossible as long as they put their hearts to what they want to do. Give it all the energy, all the passion, all the drive, and they can achieve whatever they set their heart to achieve, of course, with guidance. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yep, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Tofo Perfum Olayola.
Okay. I just want to say to all prospective scholars that be inquisitive, be curious, try to explore. Try to explore. It will help you a lot. Thank you.
That's very interesting. Try to explore. Awesome. Yes, to the one and only queen of non-STEM, Summer Okibe. One and only queen of non-STEM.
So okay, so this one is for STEM and non-STEM. I don't want to be biased now yet, but the only thing I'll tell you is that you have to be very intentional. See, if you're not intentional, you flop. So you have to be intentional. You see all those tips I gave you guys on how to find professors, how to do this, go and do it. While I was chatting, when I was here, so at the beginning, somebody just gave me one very massive news that I can't wait to share. Do you understand? You have to be intentional. Not when we post scholarship links, you'll be asking, how can I apply? That's not right now. You should go and click on the link. Check the website. Then let it be that you don't understand something. Then you can come back and say, okay, check the link. Not telling me how can you apply. It's not nice. That means you're not ready. You get? So please, I wish you all the best. See you. Maybe we must all go to the top. The sky is enough for everybody. Just keep being intentional and be mindful of who are in your circle. If your circle of friends are very unserious, then I'm not saying you should throw them away, right? Then know that when it comes to grad school conversations, you don't have it with them because they'll be telling you the education is scam, and education is not scam. Thank you.
That's an awesome message from the queen of non-STEM. Hey, if you want to know her better, just slide into her DM. You will hear it forcefully.
Rushing.
Slide into her DM.
It's not back yet, though.
That one get me new. I beg you.
Yeah, she's not back. I'm surprised.
I'm sorry. Okay.
But I guess she should be back soon. Let's
we
say
we don't use that in academics. We don't slide in academics.
Exactly, Dr. Lawa. Thank you. Thank you for that. We don't slide.
Okay.
We code email.
Exactly.
With code email. And please, when you send a code email and everything to the DM, tread with caution. She's a very disciplined person. She takes no nonsense. Yes. And to the one and only queen of YouTube, Japan, that's Chioma Okeke. Your parting words.
Okay, thank you so much. This was really a very interesting session. One thing I would like to say is that you may get a lot of rejection mails on this journey, but remember it takes only one yes, just one yes, and you have forgotten how the sorrowful nights felt. So be patient. Secondly, with patience is there is no such thing like which scholarship will make me leave tomorrow, or which one will I apply, then next week I will be in Japan. There's nothing like that. with this journey, you have to be patient. It takes sometimes 9. The shortest is 10 months, 11, 1 year. So anything you want to reap next year, start planting from this year. You don't just enter 2022 and you just say, my case is different, and you're not doing anything differently. It's not by putting the banner up in the house, it's by doing something differently. So please, by all means, anything you want to achieve, this is still January, there's still time. Some scholarships, if you start applying now, you probably even get into their August, September, October period. Start on time, be patient, and don't forget, for all the rejection mail that comes, keep reminding yourself, 1 yes, just 1 yes, and you would get it right. All the best.
Okay, thank you very much, Chioma. I have 2 minutes left. And I call him Broshon, so he doesn't like that. So I'll call him Oluwaseun Ajayi. Your parting words in 30 seconds.
My case is different. Oh, I don't mind. Thank you so much, Dr. Adeniji, for setting this up. I remember last year
You're
when
welcome,
we
sir.
reached out, and I've learned a lot, especially in my breakout role. Yeah, but I'm gonna say 2 things, and is that know how to use Google search. Yeah, for all prospective scholars. If you don't know how to do that, you're gonna have a lot of problems. Not every question should you bring to the timeline. There are some questions that are weird. That just doing your own due diligence is important. Then secondly, because I have 30 seconds, I'm gonna say that don't join the bad wagon. Not everybody, it's not compulsory. I know everybody's coming on Zoom, everybody's coming on space to listen to graduates. If that's not your passion, leave it for those who have the passion for that. If your own is immigration, focus on that. And if your own is education laced with JAPA plans, focus on that. Just be intentional, just like what Chioma said, and be persistent about it. I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was very brief. So Timilein, 20 seconds.
Thank you, Dr. Adeniji. This is a very good session to have, and I'm happy to have learned a lot while I was trying to impact other people. So I'll say 2 things as well. First thing is that you should normalize rejection. Normalize it, because on your way top, even if you want to become a professor, there will always be rejections along the way. So you should normalize rejection and let this, if you have one today, let this particular rejection propel you to the next stage. So I want you to have that at the back of your mind. And secondly, your mistakes. You would not be fighting for positions or for scholarships. You don't have to apply to 100 before you get one. Had it been you had a first class, preach that word to the ones behind you in your undergrad. Tell them, don't let them make the same mistakes that you made. Let them know, even if you are doing this, you might find your own purpose, but you should make sure that the mistakes you made, the people coming behind you do not do the same mistakes. Thank you.
Yeah, that was very brief. Straight away to K, 20 seconds.
Okay, to build on what Dr. Ajayi said, I see a lot of things on Twitter. A professor will say, okay, I have a position, blah, blah, blah. And his email is not there. And we will ask him for email. So you cannot take that pain, Google the name of the professor, take his paper, get his email. Those questions are wild. And don't do that. I get angry. I saw that today. Please don't do that. Be intentional about whatever you are doing. Don't ask questions that are not necessary. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kay. Yeah, Dr. Pemila, about 20 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much. Just to buttress what other people have said. Well, I have this popular quote that if your only goal for grad school is to JAPA, then you are setting yourself up for frustration. So be intentional about all these things. Learn to do it yourself. Another thing is value relationships. They are very, very important. So that's all. I think I spent 10 seconds, right?
That's awesome. To Dr. Oluwaseyi Aboyade, 20 seconds.
Everyone has said it all. I just hope that whoever you decide to choose as your mentor is the right person that would be the building blocks for your future. Thank you.
That's very fast. Yes, to Dr. Basade Fagbe Migun. I just hope I didn't murder that name. I just hope so.
You are pardoned.
Okay, thank you.
I will still close with the words of Snoop Dogg. Said, if you stop at general mathematics, you will only make general money. If you stop at anything general, you make something general. So whatever your passion is, go for it, because if you go deep down into anything, you still find mathematics. So math is fun. Even in other areas of human endeavors, you still find mathematics. Math is fun. Go for it. Pursue your dream. You will get there. Thank you.
That is profound. General mathematics, general money. Hey, my God. Okay. Dr. Luatin, you're next by.
I would like to pick from what Dr. Boya said in our breakout room. Curiosity is cool. I even hashtagged it. Be curious, be a curious human being. It will really help you as you go into your postgrad journey. Ask questions. There's a lot you can learn from just even sitting down and being curious about the world around you and what you're doing. So curiosity is cool. Stay curious and you will really fly high in your postgrad journey. Thank you so much.
Yes, that's great. Wow. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah. It's been a very interesting. Please, where is Dr. Ibrahim Oluwasegun? Okay, he's not here. Okay, so it's been a very, very long journey, and I want to appreciate everybody. Lest I forget, please, can all the speakers put their Twitter handle or email or on the chat box, because a quite number of people are requesting for it. Yeah. So I want to say thank you very much to everybody that has been here, that has given us a chance to be part of your life and part of your time. And I want to appreciate the speakers for giving their time to invest in the beautiful minds and intelligent minds that are here. Apologies for taking your time. Let me just say this. I would like you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because in the next 1 month, something very, very massive is coming up. When I say coming up, it's going to make you happy. You will be glad. The scholarship is for everybody, irrespective of your degree, irrespective of who you are. You have the ability to get the scholarship. If you know how to toast, if you know how to woo a lady outside there as a guy and you won't give up, then don't give up on your scholarship journey. If she gives you a response by saying no once or twice and you really love her, you will keep at it until you get a yes. Convert the same energy to scholarship. I don't know why Olaiwala is laughing when I mentioned this matter.
Was this line?
And sorry, stop that. And for you ladies outside there, please, for you ladies outside there, there are times that you really want a thing from your guy. You know how to go about it. You don't give up on it. Convert that energy to your scholarship. Convert that energy to your scholarship journey. It's the same thing. The space in the earth or in the sky is wide enough for everybody to get there. Once you are intentional, once you are consistent, once your mind is on it, you will definitely get it. I'm not asking you to keep going to woo a girl until she tell you yes. Just convert that energy to scholarship journey. Get the yes and go and do your research. And please, I'll round up by saying this. For everyone who has spoken and invested in your life today, did not get to where they are today by just mouth or by being lackadaisical or being complacent about it. Everybody has a very good story. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's not palatable to talk about. But one thing is certain, the pain pays. And once it pays, you become an oracle, you become an icon, and you become an ambassador of change. So please, I'm leaving you all with this word. Go outside there, be bold. We'll have been heated with one rejection or the other. Of course, I still got a very interesting rejection that I had to use Google Translator to translate whatever they said. And all I could hear was, when I see the word, we regret to inform, I don't even bother to read it because because you know what follows. And for some of us who publish papers, there are times you look at your papers after like 6 months, you will just hear, we regret to inform you that it's outside the scope. You just take the juice, five alive, or you take one wine and drink and be happy, and you move on, learning from it. Yes. So it's part of life. This is how we grow. This is how we become thick, and this is how we become who we are. In the next 1 month, I'll see you guys on this channel. I hope with these little words of mine, I have been able to convince and not confuse you. My accurate timekeeper and panel of judges. On this note, I love you all. Bye, and have a lovely night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Everyone.
Dr. Nikbe, you recorded for our breakout room?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay, please. All the rooms